everybody, Curseius here. Welcome back to some Empires and Allies, but today this is not a gameplay video. This is a kind of public service message to the developers of the game. So really quick here, I am going to be laying out a lot of problems with this game. And if you guys agree, like, comment, share, and even go share this video to their timeline on Facebook. Now, anyways, really quick, this game has got massive problems. And one of those problems right now is the fact that the Vanguard Challenge Season 2 is coming. Are you guys serious? What are you doing? I said this before, that everything that the Vanguard Challenge had was all stuff you can get free to play almost. Except for certain like research boosts and stuff like that, you know, lowered the amount of time you constructed and research things. Those were nice prizes to get for the points. But like the skins and stuff like that, but but like the other boosts, stuff you can, like all the stuff you can get, like this kind of stuff, you can get in the game. You can get all this stuff in the game, free to play. So there was no point for them to add these kinds of prizes to the event, because you can get all that free to play and you're paying to buy that stuff. And now, anyways, and the $6 is basically for the skins that you would have gotten if you paid into this event. Now, the whole point is here that really you shouldn't care about skins being part of a pay-to-play event. Now, as far as it goes, they, like I said before, if they wanted to make more money, and like, let me stress that, Zynga, if you guys wanted to make more money, all you had to do was sell the skins separately, $3 a piece. I'm 100% certain that everybody, including myself, would have paid $3 for a skin that I wanted. Let me say that again. Everybody, including myself, would have paid $3 for a skin that they wanted. So the whole point is here that you guys made this event, tried to siphon more money out of people, and they a lot of people noticed this. That's all this was. It was just siphoning. It's really hot in this room. Woo! Anyway, just siphoning money out of people for skin, possibly for skins they didn't want. That's the whole thing. Like, I would have, like, to be honest, here's the thing. I probably would have actually bought the Mark II Gator. Like, I would have probably bought the Mark II Gator for gold the next time it came up on the Arena of the Champions. And I would have paid the $3 for the skin, because it looked really cool. Oh no, that was Mark II Viper. Or no, I'm sorry. Mark II Falcon. Sorry. You don't have to correct me. I corrected myself. I would have probably paid for the Mark II Falcon, which came up right now. Like, I would have bought the gold to buy that. And I would have bought the skin. Now, and you guys would have made more money that way. Just saying. Now, that being aside, let's put that aside. Let's discuss the other problems with the game. Number one, lots of people complain about bugs, error codes, stuff like that. They can't log into the damn game. Why is this? Now, I can understand if Zynga, okay, here's really quick. I am going to defend Zynga a little bit. I can understand if they take some of these things with a pinch of salt, because some idiot might be on Walmart's Wi-Fi or, you know, McDonald's Wi-Fi and they can't get into the game because the Wi-Fi doesn't allow it. So, and so then that person goes home, complains about an error code about them not being able to get into the game, but it's because they were on a blocked Wi-Fi. But I can understand if they take a little bit of salt with those kinds of complaints. And plus, on top of it, Zynga, they can't program this game for every device. Every phone device uses a different version of Android, a different version of iOS. They can't program for them all. I can understand this. But as far as it goes, though, they can still fix the majority of problems that people report with bugs and stuff like that. And even then, there's a problem, from what I understand, with wars. Like, apparently there's some kind of bug here with the war where somebody can just pick up, one person can pick up all the flags. And it's just, I don't know if anyone did it here. I don't know, but apparently there's some kind of bug where one person can pick up all the flags, nobody else has to do anything, and that's it. So Zynga needs to look into that and see what the problem is. I personally haven't researched it, as if it's like legitimate or not, but a lot of people have posted stuff on Facebook that this is legit, that can be done. So Zynga, you should fix that. Like, fix it. Not today, not tomorrow, but yesterday. That something like that should have been fixed yesterday. Now, as far as it goes, the game suffers heavily from balance issues. So really quick, I'm just going to go over everything that's wrong with this game balance-wise. First of all, what's the point of these? These things right here, walls. What's the point of these things? Because honestly, I don't know myself. Walls are used to enclose and protect vial-based structures. Well, that's a lie. Because the Omega units can shoot over them. Huh. They don't do much protection when they're shooting over, when the Omegas are shooting over the walls, huh? And control enemy movement of enemy forces, huh? Oh, well, that's kind of a lie too, because again, the Omega unit rolls over walls. The amount of damage that can sustain before breaking increases with level. Well, yeah, that's true, but it's still not a lot, and it's not enough. Like the amount of the walls at this point right now, even at level 20, right now. Here's the thing: even at level 20. HQ, these walls should probably have almost 10 times the HP they have. Now, you like somebody, you might be looking at me and say, "What? Why? Why should the walls have 20,000 HP a piece?" Well, gee, I don't know. Might have something to do with the fact that the A10 strike can do 15,000 damage at level 20. Oh, I'm sorry. 17,000 damage at level 20. It can break walls. The Hellfire missile can break walls with 20,000 HP. The nuke can break walls with 20,000 HP. The orbital airstrike can break walls with 20,000 HP. Everything here can break a wall with less than 20,000 HP. Walls serve no function. Zero function. I don't know what to say. The walls are trash. I guess that's it. And also, you don't get enough walls to really protect a lot of everything in the later levels. Like, honestly, at level 20, they should have added 20 more wall pieces. if they weren't going to buff the HP of the walls currently. Now, units, specifically offensive units. Rangers could probably use a small damage buff. I'm not going to say like a huge damage buff because they are still relevant. They are still viable, but they are falling off a little bit, even at level 20 HQ. So they could use a tiny damage buff. So I assume that this damage buff is probably still required at the higher, even in the 30s. So the striker, still viable. I actually have no problem with the viability of the striker currently. Might require a damage buff or an HP buff at higher HQs. I'm not sure because I'm not there. Tanks, you know what? I will address the problem with tanks and the Titan tank right now. They're too slow. They don't move fast enough. But I am going to propose a solution in this video, so give me just a minute here. So drones are the only viable late game unit that scales well enough damage wise and swarm wise into the late game, which is why this is the unit most often used in attacks, because they can be used to snipe the enemy HQ for a win. This is just garbage. It's too slow, has to get too close to enemy buildings. Why is this even in the game still? Oops. Anyway, this used to be really good, but then the Omega unit was introduced into the game, and the Omega can be used to tank the damage from stealth tanks, so they don't mess with your particular strategy. Like if you're using air units, you drop your Falcon and you look for stealth tanks that are roaming around. Stealth tank will stop, attack the Falcon. The Falcon will destroy the stealth tanks, or it'll just tank all the stealth tanks, and then you just drop an A-10 strike on them and they're all dead. Yay! So no, the stealth tank needs to be redesigned and changed so it has a viable function, much like the Tomahawk. This is too slow. It's got good damage. In fact, it can do a lot of damage. It's really good, but the Apache just falls short because of its speed. And again, I'm going to address a solution. That's not just like, oh, just buff their speed. No. This, again, after all the other ground units become non-viable into the late game, this just falls off not being able to be used, because it's still good for what it does. What it's supposed to do is really good, but again, if all the other ground units are no longer viable in the late game, what's the point? And medevac, this is just trash. It doesn't heal fast enough for it to be viable or to be any good. These guys are just trash. Again, same thing with the Tomahawk. They're too slow. They have to get too close to the targets that they're trying to get to, and then they die. This, actually, you know, I have an inconsistency in balance that actually, besides these being too slow, there's an inconsistency with balance here. 1,400 damage, 30,000 hit points, right? Oh, I'm sorry. And they take up, hold on. They take up 18 population, meaning you can only have one on any tarmac. Gauze tank. 2,520 damage, means it does more damage than the Titan tank. 56,500 HP, twice as tough as a Titan tank. 9 population. This means that the gauze tank, you can have 2 of these per tarmac. How come a unit is twice as good as twice as good as the Titan tank be allowed to have twice as many of them? This goes with the Ravager too. More HP than the Titan tank, more damage than the Titan tank, but you can have twice as many of them. Zynga, if you're going to buff the Titan to make it a little bit more viable, at least make it the same damn population cost as the other two tank-like units that do the same function. And as far as it goes, people say these are trash. They say they're only good against infantry. And since infantry aren't functionally used into the late game, these have no function. These, again, I think they say that these are the defense variant is decent, but as an attack variant, they're not that great. And I can't speak intelligently on the Gauss tanks because I haven't heard anything. So maybe because I haven't heard anything, no news is good news. Maybe they're decent, but I don't know. But anyways, though, that is really everything I have. So let me really quick talk about the solution here to the tanks and their speed. Why not introduce a system where you can customize your units? Like add equipment to the, not pay to win equipment that you can craft from the War Factory, crafting equipment from the War Factory, and not temporary equipment. I'm talking about permanent equipment, Zynga. You can craft permanent equipment from the War Factory that you can equip to your tanks. And the equipment can come in varying degrees of rarity, common, rare, epic, legendary. That would be fine, so long as you can craft them free to play. Okay? Anyways, though, and the legendary variants would take like hundreds of each of these to get. Okay? But anyways, though, that is that's my solution. It's introducing an equipment system where you can craft equipment with the War Factory to equip to your units, and you can equip stuff that would make your tanks faster, not too much faster, but fast enough to be close to not like the Striker, but closer to a little bit faster than stealth tanks go. Because stealth tanks actually go faster than regular tanks, I think. So maybe you can have them just like a 10 or 20% boost. With like common would be like a 5% boost, rare would be 10% boost, epic would be like 15% boost, and legendary equipment would be like a 20% boost to movement speed on the tanks. Okay, that would be like my suggestion to a fix, so everybody can actually make their units viable, make their strategies viable, and that would be it. And I'm talking about equipment for everything too, like have equipment for your dome sentries, equipment, permanent equipment for guard towers, permanent equipment for the the artilleries, metal rains, equipment for everything, including the weapons command center, like equipment that adds damage or special effects to the command powers. That would be interesting. But anyways, though, that is my rant done. Sorry that this took longer than I wanted, but I just had to point out all these inconsistencies because, like I said, every time I do a video on this game, I give Zynga undue attention to their game. So I have to remind you guys once in a while about the trash functionality of this game. And it's not that I don't want to play this game. I do like this game, but Zynga doesn't want to listen to its players. So please, if you agree, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, especially share this video to their timeline on Facebook. Let them know, hey, look, I agree with this guy. This stuff needs to be fixed. But anyways, though, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye-bye.
For we are the children of man, and we shall inherit both heavens and earth. And we, not the elves or their toadies, will rule Skyrim forever! Talos the Mighty